No gold is not enough.
To another episode of GigaTech. So now I have started a new series where I am going to demonstrate you the core Java features, okay, in which I will demonstrate you different scenarios to implement using those features and what will be the output of those scenarios. Also, how you can handle different scenarios related to core Java topics. So today I am going to start first with a main method. So I am going to demonstrate you 5 different scenarios which constitutes different approach of using the main methods and what will be the output. So it will help you to explore your knowledge regarding Core Java. Along with it will help you in your interviews also. So let's start with the first program, which is related to main method. So the most commonly asked question in interviews of Core Java, that what will happen if I execute a class without main method. Okay, so it's a very common and very interesting question also. So here you can see that I have created a class demo main method 1, and it doesn't have any methods or it doesn't have any main method. So I'm going to try to execute this class, then we will see that what will be the output of that. So let's start, and we will see that what output we will receive. Meanwhile, I will demonstrate you that there is no compilation error. Okay, so compiler will not force you to have a main method in your class. So the first answer you already get, that there is no compilation error if I don't have any main method in my class. So now let's see that what will be the output we will receive. So it means now we will receive output based on the runtime. Okay, so there might be a case it will run, or there might be a case it will throw an exception. So we will see based on the output that what will be the output, but it confirms that there is no compilation or error, or no compilation problem in our class. Okay, so now let's just see that what will be the output for this one. So here you can see that we got an exception, java.lang.no such method exception. Okay, so this is a runtime exception thrown by JVM, where it says that the exception in thread main class. So in main, so there is no main method existing in this class. So that's why it gives us a runtime exception. So whenever somebody asks in interview and says that what will happen if I try to execute a class without main method, then answer is we will receive a runtime exception. Okay, and the class will be compiled successfully, but it will not give an output. It will give us a runtime exception for this scenario. Okay, now let's move towards the second scenario. So the second scenario is, can I overload a main method? It's a very interesting question. Many times it asks in interviews that can I overload a main method. So let's see what will be the output. Before that, I will show you that how I implemented the overloading of main method. So here, public static void main string edges, so which is a very the basic main method. Here I have mentioned the system.println main method of Java. Okay, and I also created the overloaded method of main. Here, how I overloaded it, I passed the integer as a parameter. Okay, so as you know, the basic rule of overloading, that we can overload a method by providing the different parameter from the from other method, so it will be overloaded. So what I did, I provided integer, where in the main method we already provided string array type argument. So for overloading it, I provided the integer variable, and this method will print the value of I. Okay, so I call this method in my main method. Here you can see, as this is the static method, so I call it via class name demo main method dot main, and I pass the parameter as 9 because it is accepting the integer value parameter. So now let's see what will happen while running this. Oh, sorry, I just executed different class. So okay, we will move again on this method. Before going forward with this execution, you have seen that the compile is not giving any kind of error over here. Okay, So there is no compilation error. Compiler is not telling you or blocking you to overload a main method. Okay, so now let's see what will be the output when I run the overload method of um, the overloaded main method. Okay, so will it give us an error, will it give us runtime exception, or it will run properly? So now let's see by running this class that what kind of output we will receive. Now here you can see that program runs successfully. We got the value of I 9 and we got the output as main method of Java also. So when this method calls, so it print the main method of Java and it will call the overloaded method also. Okay, here with value 9 and it print the value of 9. So yes, we can overload a main method. It is a positive scenario to overload a main method. Yes, we can overload a main method. And one more thing, that this method is static, so you will get one more answer from this program, that can we overload a static method? Yes, we can overload a static method. So this is the example of that scenario also. Okay, so it will not give us any kind of compilation error, it will not give us runtime exception, it will not give us runtime error, it will execute properly and it will give us the output. Okay, now let's move towards the third scenario. Here what I try to demonstrate is different return type of main method. Okay, we all know that we have void return type of main method. What will happen if I try to change the return type of main method? Okay, so here again let me execute this class. Okay, here you can see that compiler again not giving any kind of error or exception, that you cannot mark your main method with different return type. Okay, so there is no restriction from compiler side. Okay, here you can see the result. Main method must return a value of type void. JVM will throw us an error and says that you cannot have other return type than void for main method. Okay, so this is the output. So whenever someone asks you, can I pass a different return type for main method? So the answer is no, we cannot, because compiler, because the JVM will give us an error that main method must have a return type of void. Now let's talk about the fourth scenario. So can I mark a static method final? Okay, so it's a very simple and very frequently asked question in interviews, that can I mark a main method final? Okay, as we know that we cannot override the main method. Okay, so there is no need to mention the final word to stop it from the overriding of the method, but still we can still I have tried to provide the final over here. And what will happen when I try to override this method, then I will get an error that this method is already final, marked as final, so I cannot override it. But without final, if you are trying to override the main method, then your program will execute, but you will get a different errors while running the program. Okay, so overriding is also not recommended for main method. It is not a correct way to overriding the main method. Okay, we cannot override the main method. Let's see, but what will happen if I mention the final? Okay, so let's see that will it provide me any exception, will it provide me any JVM will throw me any kind of error. But one thing is clear, that we don't have a compilation error over here. Okay, so now let's try with the program, that what kind of output we will receive when we run a main method with final keyword. Okay, so let's see. Hello core Java. So there is no error while running this program. Okay, so we get the final we get the result for final static void main method. Okay, so it's a positive scenario, and this will provide us the proper output. There will be no error, no exception with that. Now let's talk about the fifth scenario, where I have mentioned that can I mark a main method non-static? Okay, what will happen if my main method is not a static method? What kind of output I will receive when I try to run the program where I don't have the static value, where I don't provide the static keyword for my main method? Will it give me a compilation error? Will it give me a runtime exception? Will it give me a runtime error? Or it will run properly? Okay, so now let's see with the execution of this class. Here, main method should be static. So JVM throws an error and says that main method should be static. Okay, you can't make a main method non-static. If you want to use a main method, then it should be properly defined as static. Okay, so these are the 5 different scenarios which I try to demonstrate you related to main method. Every week I try to bring different scenarios on each and every topic of core Java, where I will demonstrate you how to handle the different scenarios for that particular feature of Java, and what are the other, and how we can implement those features, like how we can implement method overloading, how we can implement method overriding, okay, how we can implement collections in Java. So I will try to demonstrate you all those stuffs. So thank you for your time. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and you are already a subscriber, then please do like, share, and share my videos with others. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. Thanks a lot.